So just 30 minutes ago, this grill was so nasty and so roached out. But thanks to that Weber warranty, we got a whole bunch of new parts. We're gonna show you how to put them on. We're gonna put on the grills, the cooking surface there. We're gonna put on the Flavorizer bars, and we're gonna put on the crossover tube, which goes bad, and that's why you can't light the whole grill at once. It's only lighting one burner for you. So we replace all those parts today. We'll show you how. Also, thanks to SuperClean for helping us keep this grill nice and clean, get it cleaned up, looking beautiful. Let's do it. So we reached out to Weber and they sent us over new Flavorizer bars. So the porcelain enamel Flavorizer bars. They also sent us over the new Grates, and they sent us over a new crossover tube. All of this sent to us free as a part of that Weber warranty. So what do we think of the Weber warranty? It's awesome. As you can see, some of the grates are starting to rust. None of them are rusted through or anything like that, so it's actually pretty good for 4 years of grilling. But they are getting rusty and losing some of the structure to them. Underneath the Flavorizer bars, those are pretty rusty as well. None of those are falling apart or anything yet. But we just put in the claim online on Weber. When you register your grill, you save that information, then you can just put that information in back in whenever you're filing a claim. And they sent us over the grates, the Flavorizers, and the crossover tube, all for free, even including free shipping. So that is quite a warranty on this Sprint 2 Weber grill. Cleaning it up as we go with some SuperClean here. This stuff dissolves grease. This thing was pretty nasty. So we're gonna pull this apart, throw those new parts in. Grab these grills out of here. And we got the Flavorizers. Not rusted through. Actually, the bottoms of them look good. They've lost their porcelain enamel coating on them. Barbecue grill, salt, heat, not good for metal. So we're gonna get rid of these two. They also sent us this crossover tube. The burners themselves look pretty good. We'll go ahead and clean out all this garbage in here. So we got the majority of that cleaned out. Some still down in there in the tray. That tray will slide out from the bottom. I'm just gonna throw that whole tray away. Pop a new tray in there. Underneath the tray, got all that grease. Got the SuperClean degreaser here. This stuff works really well. Just gonna spray that, let it sit there for a minute, and we can just wipe that off. So that's a pretty good test of any degreaser. That baked on grease in the tray there. SuperClean, clean that thing right up. Grab a new tray out of here. You can buy these on Amazon. Put that in there. Slide that back in. All right, I'll give you an instruction manual how to take this out. Obviously disconnect your propane before you do all this. So first step is you can remove the control panel, pull the knobs off. You're gonna take your Phillips screwdriver, remove the 3 screws. You got 2 screws underneath here. So then you unplug your igniter. They just wiggle off of there. I looped one of them back so I can remember which one was on the top, which one was on the bottom. With that, we've got our control panel removed, the cover at least. All right, next you're gonna remove the igniter assembly. It looks a little confusing if you look at the instructions because it says to pull this back, but this looks like it's brazed on there, but it's actually just the center section slides out of the little holder there. So we slide that back. That's what that one looks like. We're gonna set that to the side. So next up, we're gonna remove the manifold assembly. You got these screws here, and then you gotta remove the nut here as well. So it's 2 screws, 2 nuts to get the manifold assembly off. Luckily, they pretty much only made you use 2 tools. Just the 7/16 wrench and the Phillips screwdriver. Screw. Nut. So I was a little worried about these back here because they are very rusty, and I thought, man, those are not going to come out, but apparently you don't even have to unscrew those at all. This just slides. So once we've got the manifold loose, we can slide this as a whole assembly. The one hang up that we have here is actually the LP coming in, so you just have to be careful about that. One, two, and the last one. Okay, now we've got that assembly loose, and what we're going for is this crossover tube right here, because Weber sent us this beautiful brand new stainless steel one as part of our warranty. So we mentioned that they sent us the Flavorizer bars, they sent us the actually cooking grates, and this tube all for free as part of the warranty on this grill. So we're throwing this one in. Okay, now you got to get this loose. This bar, the way that this we know this bar is bad is this grill will only light one burner and won't light the other burners. And down on the bottom, you can't see it here, but this is all cracked where there's supposed to be holes there. And it's pretty stuck, but if you twist it, give it a little time, try not to break it off real short, because you want to actually be able to slide it out, okay? So we've got that slid out. The portion that holds this in place broke off and is sitting right there. So now we've got all that out. It appears from the image that this piece goes on the sort of the back of the grill here. It was broken off on our old one, so we're gonna go with the image. Slides on like that. Gonna slide it back into these 2 others. Wow, that goes in way easier. It's not all rusty. Okay, then you just gotta finagle it back into position. On the front side of ours, a couple of these manifold extensions came off. Actually, the burners came off the manifold there. Just slide those back on. Okay, and these all just need to slide back into place. The challenging one is the one over here on the right, because that's attached to the LP, so you may have to actually pull the LP out in the front. I'm gonna put that one in place first. And I'm gonna drop this tube back into it. Okay, and we're gonna get these other ones in place. There we go. So we got that bar replaced. You can see the holes all the way along it. The old one was all cracked, broken, rusted across there. While we have this apart, these burners are still good, but I'm gonna take an old toothbrush and just kind of clean out those holes. All right, so that's done in there. Then everything's just going in reverse. So out here in the front, we're gonna put the manifold back together. Make sure you line up each of these, and everything in there still stays in place. We're gonna put our screws back in. And the nuts back on. This is a Spirit 2, which is kind of one of the lower end Weber models, but But as you can see, stainless hardware, stainless bolts, which is why I can still take this stuff off even though it's been on a grill for 4 years. Same thing here on the other side. All right, manifold is now back in. And just got to remember what we unhooked on the front side here. We unhooked this igniter. The igniter's got to go back into its little slot here. And just for reference, it will click in, and there's a little sort of line in between these two pieces, and that will line up with the holder, so you know you've got it all the way in. At that point, the igniter itself has a little bump stop on the front of it, so that needs to be pushed back all the way against this one. Then you know the igniter is in the right place. After that, we're going to hook back up the control panel cover. Control panel cover, first you got to hook up the igniter button. So I looped this one to remember that this was the one that was on the top. Those just wobble kind of back on here. Alright, so that sits on there like that. And we've got the 2 big screws, 3 little screws. The 2 big screws go on the bottom of it. And the 3 smaller screws go in the front panel, in the front of the panel. Alright, then our knobs go back on. These were all pointed straight up when I took them off. So they're going to go back on straight up. Okay. Then we are just about ready to put this all back together. So we're going to drop this grate back in there. Now we're ready for those flavorizers. Drop all those back in. There's little grooves in the back they sit in. In the instructions on these, it'll tell you how to check for any gas leaks on any of this. Just make sure you do that. So we got the gas hooked back up. The problem that we were having before was that this one would not light the whole grill at once. But as you can see, with that new crossover tube installed, that thing lights beautifully. So if you've been wondering if Weber stands up to their warranty, we can tell you on this model, great warranty. Over $100 of parts we just put on there. They sent them to us for free, shipped them to us, and this is not the first time we've repaired this one. So 4 or 5 years down the road, this has a 10-year warranty. We've still got a number of times we can reach out to them and they will send us the parts we need again. So if you're looking for a grill, Weber is a great choice. Hope you found this video helpful. If so, subscribe, hit that like button. It helps our channel grow. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy some great steaks on your freshly refurbished Weber grill. Thanks for watching.